Hey, I'm Noodle Yeti, and I'm going to be explaining what funnel damage is and why it's important. The reason why I want to do this is because I've heard some arguments surrounding pad damage, one of which says that it is a bad thing, and the other one pretty much states that it doesn't matter, that all damage is good damage. Now I lean more towards the side of it is a bad thing, so in order to disprove the other side, I'm going to explain what funnel is and how it's impactful. So let's answer the main question on everybody's mind right now. What is funnel damage? Well, I'm supposing that's the main question on everybody's mind, but regardless, it's what I'm going to say now. Funnel is when single target damage is increased with the size of the pull. Single target damage. Not your overall, not your AoE, but your damage to a single target. Let's go ahead and break down how it is impactful. Now to do this, I actually pulled my data from a dungeon called Necrotic Wake. I'm assuming most of you know what that is by now. It's been in our dungeon pools twice now. Yeah. Basically, this dungeon is pretty much built around the funnel and cleave damage types, where with the first two bosses you can pull trash onto, and the second boss even spawning its own adds in order to funnel off of. And then, of course, outside of the bosses, most trash packs have some sort of funnel element too. Now, here is a spreadsheet, and this is where I kind of pulled the data from those polls and did some rough napkin math. So, 1 second here, gotta fix that number there. I kind of did some things here that I'm going to explain that set up all this information here, but pretty much what I did is I homogenized everybody's DPS down to 100 damage per second in single target and 33 damage per second per target in AoE. And then I also am under the assumption that the healer in your group does not want to actually be carried, and that the healer plus tank damage is equal to roughly a fourth DPS. Now I'm also giving myself a handicap here not giving myself a handicap, but giving the opposing argument a handicap in saying that my funnel damage is only increasing my single target by 25%. Now, all of this stuff here, this is a whole bunch of fancy math where I took the data from the funnel polls and pretty much turned them into percents and then found times. So that way we can actually have times to look at regarding these poll times here. But yeah, that's all I guess, kind of what you need to know about the data. So let's actually get into the numbers here. So when you pad, say for instance, you pull one of those Necromancer packs, or you pull one of the Stitchwork packs or something like that. And as soon as you pull it, you just go full AoE on everything. It's going to take you about 30.2 seconds to kill all of the fodder. And then once that's done, you have to hard swap back to single target, because now you have this high health target with a certain amount of health remaining. And in order to kill that target off with pure single target is going to take you another 30.2 seconds, leaving you with a 60-second pull. Now in a funnel situation, you would not blast AoE right off the rip. Instead, what you would do is you blast single target on that high health target and allow your funnel DPS to funnel. And in order to get this high health target roughly even with everything else, assuming everybody is just a rep paladin, they don't have any cleave, it's going to take you about 28.4 seconds with only a 25% increase in funnel damage. Now, of course, when you do swap to AoE, it will take you the same amount of time, about 30.2 seconds, in order to kill everything off, leaving you with a 58.6 second pull time. That is a 3% difference in time with only a 25% increase in damage. Now, with the subtlety example of actually doubling your single target damage, roughly doubling, it actually comes out to roughly a 10% time difference just on each of these polls that have this. Now, you might not think of that as much because, you look at the Necrotic Wake, not every poll is funnel, and you look at all the other dungeon pools, not everything is funnel, but you do have these polls mixed within. And if you can shave off 10 seconds here and there, that could be the difference at your progression level between a time and an untime, if you just let your funnel. Now, this time difference is actually exaggerated if you actually start pulling trash onto bosses. Like you see here with this boss time I have up here in the blue thing or whatever, the blue table. I've worked it out to a 3-minute boss fight. If you pull an AoE pack where the pack has roughly the same amount of health onto this boss, or even outside of that, onto the boss, you're effectively removing that pull time from your timer. Like, this 60 seconds is just gone because now you're fighting it with the boss. Everybody's focused on the boss, you're allowing your funnel to funnel the boss, and then all of a sudden that boss time of 180 seconds now loses 18 seconds. So you not only have that 1 minute, but you have that 1 minute and 18 seconds taken off of your timer. So I'm pretty sure you could see how if you're able to pull trash onto bosses, do it. It's a huge time save. Allow that funnel to funnel. And even in these small pulls outside of those situations, such as Necrotic Wake with the Necromancers, the Stitchworks, and things like that, it does come out to a big time save. Now, this is just rough napkin math, but hopefully you can get the picture and get the idea that even with a small damage increase of 25% in a homogenized imaginary environment, it still comes out to a time save. So yeah, hopefully you could see now that padding actually does slow your group down, and yeah, that's what funnel is, that's why padding's bad. So congratulations, you've now been educated a little bit. Bye bye.